Coming up next, investigators say DNA evidence ties a former North County man and Army veteran to a series of rapes in Southern California, and they say there may be more victims.
A tragic ending to the search for Gabby Petito as a coroner confirms the death of the 22-year-old.
Here at home, the heat is on for the final day of summer, and it's bringing a fire threat with it. We have your microclimate forecast.
And did President Biden really cancel $9 billion in student loan debt? We verify. News 8 at 6 starts now.
A former Oceanside resident and Army veteran is accused of being a serial rapist, targeting women on running trails. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Carlo Cicchetto.
I'm Marcella Lee. DNA evidence taken here in San Diego has linked 51-year-old Robert Yukas to at least 5 attacks in Southern California. As News 8's David Goffredson reports, officers say they have no doubt that there are more victims out there.
The state's requesting $1 million cash appearance, a live third-party custodian, PED GPS with location monitoring, and house arrest.
Bail was set at $1 million Tuesday when Robbie Yukas appeared in court in Anchorage, Alaska. Prosecutors are seeking to extradite him to Orange County on kidnapping, rape, attempted rape, and assault charges in a series of attacks on women along Southern California jogging trails dating back to January 2020.
We can live a little safer today knowing that Mr. Yukas is no longer roaming the streets of Orange County or California.
The Orange County Sheriff had been trying to identify the attacker for months, releasing sketches and surveillance video of the suspect jogging along a trail in Aliso Viejo in 2020. All the attacks were similar in nature. The man would choke the women into unconsciousness and then sexually assault them.
My concern about Mr. Yukas, based on his pattern and practice and his ability to travel not only throughout the United States and abroad, is that there are many other victims that occurred.
An Army veteran and former Oceanside resident, Yukas worked as a cargo pilot and was arrested Thursday in Alaska when his flight landed. This after a tipster called Crime Stoppers to report Yukas had been arrested here in San Diego on September 4th for allegedly assaulting a woman along Ingram Street near SeaWorld at 2:30 in the morning. But days after his arrest in San Diego, Yukas bailed out and did an interview on Palm Springs TV about remembering 9/11.
It's unimaginable to me what type of pain there must be for those who've lost folks who are really close to them. You can't replace that.
Prosecutors say a DNA sample taken at the downtown jail eventually linked him to 3 attacks in Orange County and 1 in Riverside County, where Yukas currently lives.
Robbie Yukas is no longer prowling running trails looking for women to drag into the bushes and rape.
Yukas remains in custody tonight up in Alaska, pending extradition. The charges in the San Diego assault case still have not been filed, but he's facing 45 years to life if convicted on all the counts up in Orange County. Carlo?
David, your story indicates prosecutors seem pretty certain that there are more victims out there. How can people come forward if they have any information about this case?
That's right. He lived in San Diego County, Orange County, and Riverside County, so there's potential victims out there, according to prosecutors. The Orange County Sheriff's Department has set up a tip line, and they're encouraging people to call with any information. We've posted that tip line at CBS8.com.
All right, David Goffredson reporting live. Thanks, David. Police are looking for a 17-year-old Oceanside High School student they say stabbed another teen and an adult during a fight yesterday. Another student was punched in the face. It happened in a parking lot at the edge of campus. Police say one of the victims has critical injuries, and the second victim and the student who was punched are expected to be okay. We're going to have much more on this tonight at 6:30, including details of a video of that fight.
The penalty phase in the trial of Jesse Gomez, who murdered a San Diego police officer, continued today with character witness testimony in support of Gomez. A jury will decide if he should get the death penalty or life in prison without the possibility of parole. Gomez was convicted earlier this month of shooting and killing San Diego police officer J.D. de Guzman and wounding his partner back in 2016. There is a moratorium on executions in California right now, but the jury can still choose to send him to death row.
Heat advisories in effect through tomorrow night for eastern parts of the county.
If you've been outside in any part of the county today, you know it was a lot warmer than it's been the last few days, and that is bringing the threat of fires. Crews quickly put out a 1-acre riverbed brush fire in Bonsall today near Little Gopher Canyon and Old River Roads. And in University City, crews got a quick handle on a fire that broke out beside 805 near Nobel Drive.
Oh, just good thing there's no winds, huh? That definitely was close. Look at these temperatures in the East County today. Boy, we're talking 101 in Ramona. That tied their record. Alpine broke their record, 98, 101 in El Cajon, 102 in Valley Center, along with the folks in the Fallbrook area. Even out to the coastline, we were up into the mid-80s, 94 in Miramar. Check out, though, Borrego Springs was actually cooler than the folks in Escondido, where it was 103. We have this heat advisory. It will stay in play until tomorrow at 8 p.m., so another hot day forecast for tomorrow. And here's a look at some forecast temperatures across the county. Coastal, we're 88, 86, 100 plus in the inland microclimates. Mountains, you'll be toasty, and the desert's 103. The good news here is, though, this will be the last day of it tomorrow, and then we'll start to cool down, and it looks like as far as winds, we're not going to be seeing those. I'll have your 8-day microclimate forecast in just a bit.
All right, Sean, thanks. It has been a waiting game for people who received the one-dose Johnson & Johnson vaccine over whether or not a booster would soon become available.
The company said today they're working on it. News 8's Dana Marie McNichol is at County COVID-19 testing site with more on the latest announcement.
We've now heard from all 3 major vaccine providers that a booster shot is on the way. Johnson & Johnson says 2 is better than 1, and it comes with further protection.
People who received the single dose of the Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccine could be lining up for a second very soon. Better protection against the virus for a longer period of time. That's what the company says after releasing data on its latest trial.
It was all great because we thought we're going to get one shot to fix it all, right? But it turns out that maybe our immune system needs another look.
Dr. Smith is head of infectious diseases and global public health at UCSD. He says the booster shot is the same shot given again.
Nothing new or special about it. It's just that it's another time to teach the immune system how to do something to prevent people from getting COVID-19. The good news is it works great. The bad news is it probably means another shot for people who got the J&J vaccine the first time.
Johnson & Johnson announced that its single-shot vaccine is 66% effective in preventing moderate COVID-19. The new study found if a booster is given 2 months after receiving the initial vaccine, effectiveness jumps to 94%.
What we're understanding now is that to really build a good immune response, we need to tell the immune system more than once about the virus. So this second dose of J&J is just giving another study time for our immune system to really fight the virus.
And when it comes to who gets the booster, he says it depends on who his patients are.
For people who are immunosuppressed and over the age of 65, yes, we will be very much encouraging those people to get their boosters.
But for younger patients with strong immune systems, Dr. Smith says to look at the data to decide if a booster is the right choice. Last week, the FDA recommended against approval of the booster dose of the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine unless you were immunocompromised. That ruling did not include the Johnson & Johnson booster shot.
The company is taking the next step and says it's in talks with the FDA and other regulators about using the booster dose of the vaccine.
Thank you, Dana Marie. According to the California Department of Public Health, the flu isn't a big problem right now.
But doctors are concerned again this year about a possible twindemic, where healthcare professionals are stretched thin with both flu patients and COVID patients.
News 8's Allison Royal spoke to a doctor about getting ready for this upcoming flu season.
Doctors here at Scripps Health are utilizing their resources and preparing for whichever illnesses this winter throws at them.
We always see a peak, after holidays, so we're waiting for the Labor Day, increase to come. But add flu on top of that, I am very worried about beds and staffing.
This year, Dr. Sharif, the Chief Medical Officer of Acute Care and Clinical Excellence for Scripps Health, is recommending San Diegans ask their doctors about receiving a COVID-19 vaccine and a flu shot. She said it's safe to receive them both at the same time or to receive a flu shot if you've previously been vaccinated for COVID-19.
You can actually get both shots at the same time. We've had enough experience with the vaccines now to know. Initially, we were very cautious and we waited 2 weeks in between one shot and then the other one, and we realized we don't need to do that anymore.
This message might sound familiar. This time last year, doctors warned about a devastating flu season that never came. In February 2021, San Diego County reported 701 flu cases, compared to nearly 18,000 flu cases the year before.
Last year, we were fortunate in the sense that we didn't have a large flu outbreak because everybody was wearing their masks.
Still, Sharif doesn't want COVID-19 or flu patients to overwhelm local hospital resources. One of those people who chose to get a flu shot just a few days ago was Chris at CVS in Encinitas.
And it went very quick. It came right out and gave us our flu shot. And yeah, I was a little bit sore this time, but that happens sometimes.
And Caitlin plans to get a flu shot soon. She said her mom is a nurse who had her get one each year.
It's something that more people should be open to, in my opinion, just because I believe it does work.
A lot of people are often interested in receiving a flu shot sometime in October, maybe around Halloween, but doctors here at Scripps Health said you can go ahead and get one as early as now. They recommend getting one as soon as you have the opportunity to. I'm Allison Royal for News 8.